Hello, my darling Fumi Nation. How are you? How are we? My name is Fumidesaluvold. For those of you that are stopping by for the very first time, you are so very welcome indeed. Do we live? Do we love? A lot of you said, Fumi, you're not showing us your outfit. You're not talking about your makeup and your hair. I beg your pardon. Well, when it comes to my hair, I'm absolutely going to do a new hair routine. How I take care of my 4C hair. How do I take care of my beautiful, short, thick black hair? When I tell you I am living and loving. The dress I've shown you many times before. There's a hair in my lash. I've gotten it now. I've worn it many times before. It is by Pretty Little Thing in collaboration with Naomi Campbell. I live for it. I love it. There you go. It's a mesh and I just live for it. Why not? I thought, you know what, since we're talking about Kanye, let us go ahead and do something fun. So that's that. And as you very well know, makeup is always and forever colored RAINE or JUVIAS, please. Those are the two that I'm rocking with. I am going to start doing my makeup, if I have the time, and put it at the end of the episodes. How about that? We're bringing everything back. Nothing has been forgotten, my darlings. Nothing at all. But that's what I am rocking with and I am loving. Let me just zip this up a little bit so that it can be, you know, family friendly and we can go with that. Well, as we all know, Katt Williams talked about everybody in that 2.5, almost 3 hour segment that he had with Shannon Sharpe on Club Shay Shay. Entertaining and truth bombs dropping left, right and center. One of them for me was when he talked about Kanye. I got the privilege of meeting Kanye when I was out in California, and Kanye had, it was his album release party. Album listening, I beg your pardon. It was an album listening party. It was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. Short guy and very friendly with this little voice. And he came up and said hello to us. Well, I had this huge wig. I'll try and put some pictures up. I had this huge wig, so I kind of stood out. So he was like, who are you? And I will tell you this, that so many years later, I saw the copy and paste of, and I was like, wow. At the listening party, it was dark. Well, it kind of made sense because you're just supposed to listen to the music and groove to the music. Do you know, what year was this for me? I think it was 2008. Maybe even 7. I don't remember. But anyway, at the listening party, it was very fabulous. I had never been to anything like it. There were about 40 women of different shapes and different sizes, standing in almost like a square, but apart, almost like a chessboard. Think of it that way. But because it was dark, we could only see their silhouette. Are you with me? But I thought, how intriguing. And they stood there all night. They did not move. And they had hors d'oeuvres, they had goodie bags, they had all kinds of stuff. Cut to 10 years later, when we saw the Kanye West fashion show, of which he had, I think, Kylie in. It was the same layout. And I was like, oh wow, this is Kanye's MO. Quite fabulous indeed. And then again, I began to see it with Kim's line, Skims. Well, Skims is not really Kim's. She's just the face of it. I hope you know. Anyway, that was that. Yeah? So when Kim and Kanye got together, I saw a lot of influence on the Kardashian brand. All of them. He was a huge influence. He is a huge influence. He's a massive influence in the fashion industry. Thank you, Lord Almighty. I'm old enough to remember a couple of things. And for those of you that don't know, ask your mama. You see those clear heels? They were big in the 90s. because I had them in the 90s. Mine that I got was from fashion design. I don't think he's designing anymore. Was by Todd Oldham. Yes. Those clear heels that he turned them into Yeezys, they had been here in the 90s. Fashion always comes around and around. And sometimes, because one generation doesn't know it from the other, they think, okay, fine, you know what, A, B, and C. I wanted to bring that up because as much as Kanye is an influencer when it comes to fashion, he also gets influenced by other designers just as I do. I have a mood board. Sometimes if I want to do a photo shoot or I have ideas for my show, for my television show, I have a mood board. All right, Fumi, get to it. I'm getting to it. So here we have Katt Williams, who talked about Kanye's relationship with Kim. I think what struck me was this. Do I think that Kanye could be on the spectrum? Yes. Yes. But that's a good thing. Most geniuses are. Most geniuses are. They are very, very much ahead of themselves. And if you look at the pioneers from the beginning of time, they were all very much ahead of their time, and they really did change the way that people saw things, because they saw things differently always. When I was growing up, I wanted to go left. When everybody wanted to go right, I just had a different direction for me. And it sounded crazy at the time. It kind of makes sense now at 54, especially with my family. They're like, okay. But I knew I was very, 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 very different. And as much as I tried to blend in, it only worked against me. So I feel that Kanye is one of our geniuses that might not get all of his flowers all the way until he's passed or the next generation sees it for what it is. I really do think so. I also think that he looked into Kim and saw the goodness in Kim, regardless of whatever Kim had done, her past, or whatever. I do believe that. I do believe that Kanye and Kim were a match that can never be matched. She's tried to find other relationships. He's in a relationship. It's still a mismatch for me. What I don't understand, and that's the crazy part of Kanye, is how he has his significant others dressed. It's not normal behavior. That's the erraticness of him. Needless to say, Bianca's birthday came up, and so Kanye left a beautiful message. Happy birthday to the most beautiful, talented, loving person I know. I love you so much. Which was fabulous coming from Kanye, because, you know, he does the extra and so forth. But it was very simple, very fabulous. And Bianca is a beautiful girl. Needless to say, Kim was out here in these snow streets. Bless me, Miss Westie. And she was posing with Louis Vuitton, the new collection, which is fabulous. I want a piece. I want pieces. And I didn't think anything of it because I saw it. But I said to myself, why Miss Westie? You're no longer Miss West. You know, your children might be West. So why Miss Westie? Then it occurred to me that I think it was her daughter who took the pictures of her. That's why she was saying Miss Westie. And when I say her daughter, I know she has North. Do I think to some degree that Kim was trying to be messy? That perhaps Kanye has now kind of stopped running up after her with the madness. You know, there's a certain kind of madness that your ex is all over you. And you interpret that as that he's still into you. And then when he cools off and you don't get the craziness, then you're kind of like, well, where is he? I don't know. Because what I do know is that Kim can be salty, she can be saucy when she wants to. Yeah? So that was that. Showing the shades and everything, bada bing, bada boo. Bianca wore a beautiful fur hat. And so did Kim. I have that hat. So they were making comparisons. I don't know. Could it be coincidental? Could it be that she wore hers first, second, third, posted it later, whatever? You know, the internet can be petty. Needless to say, Kanye came back because he felt as if, you know what, Kim, don't try to be crazy up in these streets, okay? I'm leaving you alone. And sometimes also it can be a situation where you're reading too much into stuff. So he comes back heavier and he says, happy birthday to the most beautiful, super bad, iconic muse, inspirational, talented artist, master's degree in architecture, 140 IQ, loving by my side every day when half the world turned their backs on me, and the most amazing stepmom to our children. I love you so much. Thank you for sharing your life with me. Basically telling Kim, check all of that. And so, I do believe that it's a heart-smoking mess. It's a heart-smoking mess, and it really does come from crazy people coming together. And a lot of artists are like that. We have a side of us that even we cannot explain. But Katt called it. Katt called it for what it was. About Kanye, I'm going to disagree now here about Kim. Because who makes a girl that? It's the guys. It's the same way he talked about the girls in the club. Who makes the girls in the club that? He said, what? We are the problem. I'm going to roll this sketch right here.
I'm not spending my money on strippers.
So you see, you know, I'm not biased. I'm just factual. This particular Kanye and Kim relationship, I don't think it will ever go away. Why? Because 4 reasons. 4 children. That's why it will never go away. It will always be here. Kim, go about your business and live your life, you know. You have to understand that you have been privileged. Very, very, very privileged. I hear it out in the streets. Black culture, how you've adopted it as your own. You monetized it, enjoyed it. You've been very blessed because you can play out in the culture and you can also play out on the other side. So, my darlings, you tell me what you think. Do you think that Kim deliberately said Miss Westie to shake up and shade Bianca's special day, her birthday, and Kanye will always have the last laugh and he will always have the last say? He will make sure that he does. He will try his best. That one, I know. Like I said, the Kardashians, they have really monetized and capitalized every opportunity that they have seen and snatched. That's all I'm going to say about that. I'm going to keep it positive. Don't forget to like, to subscribe, hit the notification button, my darlings. And I will see you I will see you sooner than later. All of my love.